Good morning, my beautiful, divine Mystic Hearts Collective. I hope you're doing really well. Um, if you're returning back to this channel, it's lovely to see you again. And if you are brand new to this channel, we do channel love readings here. So these will be messages coming through from the person on your mind. So you're probably going to resonate with the divine connection or the twin flame connection as well, as you're probably resonating with that. So today I'm being called to do a bit of a you versus them. I'm going to do a checking in of your energy, just to see where you're at with this connection, and then compare that to the person on your mind. So just do an energy check with them, and I'm then going to get a check between the two of you just to see what your spirit team needs to know about the connection, and just really what that connecting energy is between the two of you. So let's get right into it. Oh, I've already got cards trying to pop out here. So firstly, we're just going to connect into your energy first. Gosh, I've got a lot to say this morning, the cards. Really got a lot to say. So I'm just going to finish cutting the deck here just to see what we get. Just to get your energy in there. How is this beautiful collective seeing this connection? Spirit, how is this beautiful collective seeing this connection? All right, so we're just going to split the deck here and just see what we come out with. So straight away, so this is how you're seeing the connection. So I get the feeling that I'm speaking with the divine feminine here. The cards are probably going to be confirming that as we go, but let's just deal with this. So we've got spotlight and then we've got push pull as well. So I'm getting a couple of things for this. I think at the moment, you definitely have a spotlight on yourself at the moment. So I think you are going through a real healing journey at the moment. I think you're going through a real, really introspective time. You're really looking inwards, looking at your shadow, looking at the things that you need to be healing out, which is really to be commended. It's not an easy journey, the healing journey to be on, especially if you identify with the twin flame connection. The purpose of the twin flame connection is to highlight all of those areas of your life that you do need to heal out, to deal with that shadow, the shadow that we have been carrying with us, since we're 3-4 years old. And then the twin flame connection then calls us in to look at those issues, to examine those, and to ultimately heal those out. And I think that that's the journey that you've been on. So chances are you might have been on this journey for a little while, but a real introspective time. So you've really got the spotlight on yourself at the moment. And as I said, just really having a look at really those areas of your life that you need to improve. Really your emotional state as well. So I'm really getting that real cups energy, that real emotional, emotional. Emotional baggage or emotional blockers is probably a better word to use, is what I'm getting. The other thing I'm getting as well is that while you've been on this journey, you've also been on, or you've been dealing with a masculine. And I'll just say as well, so this is not a gendered reading. I will be referring to feminine and masculine. So the feminine energy, masculine energy. It doesn't necessarily matter which meat vessel you're in. You could actually resonate with either the masculine or the feminine. It just depends on which, where you are in your journey. Or there could actually be both as well. If you're bringing, your masculine and feminine into alignment, if you're a little bit further along on that healing journey, then you could actually be resonating with both. But your masculine, I feel at the time that you were connected, that you were actually, in the 3D, that you were, in contact with each other. I think that you may feel that this person was also quite self-absorbed at the time. This is my card for, that quite narcissistic energy. I don't like to just, throw that word around, but that this is, that real, Six of Wands and reverse energy. So it's it is quite a narcissistic, quite a self-absorbed energy. And I think that is the person that you have on your mind. So I think that when you were in contact, that this person you do feel was quite self-absorbed. Maybe, they didn't really take your needs in the relationship into account, or you didn't feel that they did. And I think this probably led to a lot of arguments and a lot of tension between the two of you, which then pulls me then into, to the push-pull dynamic, which is then dealing with, that actually is that divine twin flame dynamic is the push-pull. So, power struggles, imbalance, stubborn. So you've got your runner and chaser energy. So you push and you pull. It also refers to, the divine connection, the twin flame connection are also like magnets as well. So you pull each other in and then you repel each other just as quickly. And that's, sort of what I'm seeing here with the two, with the two people here with the two lots of hands pushing and pulling each other. It's like two magnets. You attract each other in, you then really trigger each other's trauma, and then you repel each other just as quickly. And then ultimately, when you've then healed out sufficiently, then then the two magnets will be brought back into alignment again. Also, this speaks to what I was just picking up on before, is that I think that the self-absorbed, or what you perceive to be, a really self-absorbed energy of this person, did bring a lot of power struggles between the two of you. So as I said, I was picking up on quite a bit of conflicts between the two of you, which, to be fair, is to be expected, because that's what happens when you meet your divine, is they are put in your life to highlight all of those wounds, all of those issues that have to be healed out. And it does bring about, an imbalance, and that's why you are then separated. So the divine will then step in and separate you, so that you can start that healing journey, and you can do that. Within the dynamic, though, that has to be done separately within the twin flame dynamic. You need to be able to do that healing in separation from each other. It's not possible to actually deal with that healing together, because it's such a triggering dynamic between the two of you. You have to be separated in order to go on that journey, and then you go through a whole lot of, it separately will go through a whole lot of karmic situations and karmic relationships that are designed to really heal out your shadow, to really highlight your shadow, to highlight the issues and then heal it out for the both of you. And so, yes, I think that there was, power struggles between the two of you. I think there was quite a lot of conflict, imbalance and stubborn. So the person you're dealing with, you could also find as a really stubborn person. You could also be quite stubborn yourself. I'm getting a bit of sort of that bull energy, that Taurus energy, actually, to be fair. So you might be an earth sign, you might be a Taurus. For some reason that just came straight to my mind, just that real stubborn, bit of a stubborn streak there is what I'm thinking. Or this person also could be an earth sign, or in particular is what I'm hearing as Taurus as well. Might not necessarily be that, but I'm just getting that energy, that stubborn, stuck energy. Also, between the two of you, you could feel quite stuck at the moment between the two of you. There could actually be quite some distance between the both of you. And then that's leading to this blockage. So maybe the connection itself is quite stubborn. You are feeling quite blocked when it comes to this connection, which means that potentially there has been some time since you've heard from this person. There's been contact between the two of you. I'd also say too, don't make these details fit. If this is your energy, then that's what this check-in is for. If these details don't fit, though, then don't make these fit. If this is not your reading, then there will be other readings I upload that will be yours if this isn't resonating with you. By the other token, though, you might know that this is not your reading, but there still could be a message in here for you. So maybe you are being called to listen. I would just say that you would just use your discernment and just speak with your team and just see what you actually need to hear today. All right, so I'm just going to pull another couple of cards here. So the first one we've got is conflict resolution. So making amends, positive outcome. So this is just your energy here. I'm just going to pull through another couple. Oh, I've actually got, yep, I'll take that one. It wants to come through. So this is your energy. Okay, so let's just bring this up here. I might just place these here actually. So we've got, so this is your energy. So this really, it's going into speaking to what we were talking about before. So we've got conflict resolution, you know, trust issues, hiding one side, detached. I think that this is talking about, about the old energy that you were dealing with. So when I just going back to what I was saying before is that I think that there was quite a bit of conflict and fighting between the two of you. I think that I'm getting that real Five of Wands energy between the both of you. The fact that I'm seeing Five of Wands as well, I feel like there's a lot of fire energy with this. So you could also be dealing with a fire sign as well, or you could be a fire sign. But I'm just getting that feeling, you know, that we've got, you know, really that chaser energy. We've got a person not listening. We've got someone trying to talk to them. I think that there were a lot of issues also with your communication as well. There probably still are issues with the communication between the two of you. I don't think that you were great communicators when you were together. And then now I think there's actually been just a complete lack of communication. I don't think that this person and you have spoken for quite some time. I think there's actually quite a bit of distance. But as a result, but out of that, I'd come back to your healing journey. So I think that you have really been looking to heal this out. I think that this person really highlighted your lack of ability to communicate effectively. I think that potentially, you know, not to be harsh, but I'm getting the feeling that maybe you were a little bit toxic in your communicating style and how you guys used to actually try to work together to solve conflict. I think, you know, in a relationship and conflict, you know, healthy conflict resolution should actually be bringing you closer together. And I think that in your case, it was actually repelling you. I think that there was a lot of conflict over different issues within your relationship. But as I said, I think that that's old energy. I think that that is ultimately what pushed you guys apart, like those two magnets. There's a reason why I'm seeing those two magnets. So I think you were brought together, but ultimately there was quite a lot of conflict, and then the divine came in and then separated the two of you. Out of that, though, out of that conflict, I think that you're learning much healthier ways of doing things. I think that you're really learning how to communicate far more effectively, and not just in a romantic sense. I think that you're learning how to communicate effectively with friends, in particular family as well. I have a feeling that there could have been some family members that you were not effective, you know, communicating quite effectively. Maybe you had some a couple of broken relationships when it came to family as well. So I think you've really been learning how to heal that out, really step into your divine feminine, really learn how to communicate in a much healthier way. Which is to be commended. It's not an easy lesson to learn, but I think that you've really been, you know, that introspection, looking inward, and then really trying to project out a much healthier, more balanced version of yourself is what I'm getting. So I think that you're really trying to make amends. I think that there have been a few people in your life that, like I said, maybe, you know, you'd fallen out with. Like, I'm really getting a sense of family here. I think that maybe there might have been a couple of family members, like I said, that you were maybe not even in contact with. Maybe you'd actually fallen out with some family members, or I'm also getting like a really close friendship. Maybe you'd actually fallen out with them. And I feel like there's been some sort of a reconciliation, like you're actually coming back into alignment with those people again. So it's not just this person on your mind, it's just not your divine masculine, but it's also the people around you. Also working relationships as well. I'm getting working relationships. You're really understanding how to articulate yourself in a far better way. You're not so reactive anymore. That's which is why I'm getting like a real fire energy, which is what I said. I think I get the feeling like you're quite a determined person, not afraid to speak your mind is what I'm feeling. And maybe sometimes that was articulated maybe not in the best way, but I think you're learning how to pull back and communicate much more effectively, which is, ultimately also going to help to bring you and your divine masculine back into alignment. If you don't have good communication skills, then, then the relationship with your divine masculine has really no hope of lasting either, because ultimately you guys would just repeat another cycle again. If you were brought back into alignment, you would just repeat that same cycle. You'd get back into those same fights. You would also, you would just repeat all of those toxic cycles again. So it needs to be healed out in both of you. But that's good. That's actually it's a really positive card. So we've just got here, yeah, so trust issues, one-sided, detached. This will be, the masculine you're dealing with has his running boots on, quite a detached person, which means that he has, been in avoidance with you, or is currently avoiding you, which, is also part and parcel of the divine connection, is that he'll have his running boots on, he'll be with the avoidant veil, and you'll be, as the divine feminine, you will have your longing veil on, which is really to do with codependence and really not really having a reliance on others to find your self-worth, which is all, I'm getting that real sense that is what has been highlighted to you. Also, trust issues. You probably had, to do with your shadow. You probably had, issues with trusting others, which would have stemmed from, from a very early age. And then as a result, then you've attracted someone in that you did feel when you were in the connection with them that they were quite detached from you. Yeah, like I said, though, I'm getting the feeling this is definitely old energy. And this is the stuff that you've been healing out, like I said. So, and then that brings us here to hiding their true feelings. So I think that you were dealing with someone, as I said. So this is the avoidant veil that your masculine has. The masculine will do whatever they can do to avoid you, especially when you first come into contact. So what will typically happen with, with the divine connection is you are joined together like two magnets. It's a very, it's a connection like no other that you will have ever experienced. And just as quickly as you are brought together, you are also very quickly separated as well, so that you can both start your healing journeys. And so what happens then is that with this avoidant veil that the masculine is given, he will essentially just keep trying to avoid as much as he can, to not have to deal with his shadow, to not have to deal with his emotions, with those scars that he does need to heal out. He will do whatever he can do to avoid it. And as a result, the universe will give him karmic relationship after karmic situation, until eventually he just surrenders and then starts his healing journey and actually starts to uncover and starts to really do that introspection and start to look inwards. And that, I think, is and that's confirming what you were dealing with. So definitely you are dealing with a runner. Deep down, though, you do feel that they have deep emotions for you, but you know, they were hiding their true feelings. You know, you do feel that they were secretly in love. And look, to be fair, they probably were. We will look at that, you know, at your masculine's energy as well. But they're avoiding, and they can avoid for a long time. I have to say, the avoidant veil is a tough one. I know it probably doesn't seem like it, but the feminine, you immediately go into introspection as soon as this happens, as soon as separation occurs. So you will meet your twin flame, all of your trauma will be ignited, you were then separated, and then you start your healing journey. Now, because you've got the longing veil on, and you're really longing for this person to go back in, he's running, he's got his running boots on, so he's off he's off doing whatever he needs to be doing. But you've got the poor old feminines back here with the longing veil on. Now, because this masculine doesn't come in, because they're also not a karmic, right? So you can't just quickly call them in like you can a karmic. A masculine is different. So a masculine, the divine has got complete control over this. So you cannot call in a masculine. You have to wait for divine timing. So in the meantime, while you're waiting for that to happen, because you're longing so much for this masculine to come back, it then highlights to you your shadows, right? Because it causes so much pain. It highlights all of these shadows that you need to heal out. And so you very quickly go into the healing journey, very, very quickly. Because which is good, because, you know, the quicker you can start, then the quicker you can sort of, you know, get through it and then get onto your mission work, which is the ultimate point of this journey. It's about introspection, healing, and then pushing you onto your mission work. Because you're the divine feminine, although it hurts very much in the beginning, and because you've got this longing veil, because the person never comes back, it really highlights to you your codependency. So really your codependency, your need for approval from someone else, you know, that real neediness, for, you know, is really highlighted. And you can then start to then, you know, go through the introspection and then start to heal it out, because you're not avoiding it, right? You don't have the avoidant veil on. You're actually wanting to move through this, to heal it out, and then move on to the next thing, right? Which can take some time, but that's really what you're wanting to. You're really wanting to heal it out. The avoidant doesn't. The avoidant just keeps running. And what happens then with the poor old avoidant is, because they keep running, then the universe and their team will just keep putting a karmic situations, karmic relationships in front of them for them to deal with. And they just keep walking through the fire, until eventually then they surrender to the journey. But that can take time, right? So they've got all this time that they're going to really avoid, and then they've then got to go through the healing journey, which you've started way before, right? Because you're not avoiding. And so that's why they always say that the feminine leads the way with this. Is that you will always be further ahead in the healing journey than what your avoidant masculine is. It's just the way that it works. Because you're not avoiding. You want to deal with it, and your avoidant doesn't. The masculine energy doesn't. They will avoid it for as long as they possibly can. So that was a fairly deep regression, but to the right collective, that will make sense. If you're not on the twin flame journey, though, then it's going to sound really quite probably a bit delulu to you. If that's the case, and this is not your reading, this is really for a feminine who is on, you know, the divine journey, who is really in this healing phase. That's who this reading is for. So, so I do want to say, though, that I'm getting this message through from your team, is that you should be really proud of the work that you've done so far. It is not an easy journey by any means, you know, for anyone. Even, you know, if whether you're on this journey or not, for anyone going back and looking at past trauma, you know, looking at, you know, at your shadow, it's hard for anyone. Like, so you really should be commended for having the courage to do it. I also have to apologize too. If you can hear, one of my neighbors has decided to start cutting their lawn. So if you can hear that, then that's what it is. I do apologize if that's coming through. I don't know, maybe you're cutting your grass, maybe you're looking out, maybe you're looking out at your backyard thinking that you need to also go and mow the lawn. I'm not sure why that came to my mind, but maybe you're going through the same thing. So this here is then really just confirming what we've been talking about. So this connection, this amazing healing journey that you've on the shadow that you've been dealing with, your codependency on others, has really pushed you into your Empress glow. And this is what we're seeing here. So despite all of the pain that you've gone through, despite all of the longing and the, those sad nights, I'm getting a feeling there's actually a little bit of sadness here as well, which is to be expected. Despite all of that, this has been pushing you into your Empress glow, which is beautiful. And your team, the universe sees that, you are feeling so much more confident, abundant. I feel like there's some really beautiful things going on in your life that you've been able to achieve in separation from this masculine. And it also, I think you understand as well that this couldn't have happened if the masculine was around. There's a lot of messiness going on in your masculine's life. Well, there was anyway when you were in contact with this person. And I think you understand that you couldn't have achieved what you've achieved or stepped onto your path. I just feel there's a lot of abundance. I think not just in relationships, but also with your pentacle path as well. I think that you are really going through a bit of a glow up, getting that real glow up card. And I just, that it could not have happened if this masculine was still in your life. You would still be back here. You'd still have conflict, you'd have fighting, you'd still be trying to deal with, with this avoidant tendencies because, when you were together, he would have been quite avoidant in all sorts of things. It wouldn't just be now that you're in separation, he's not coming back. It would have actually been in all sorts of things. So this would have been in, arguments that you would have had. He wouldn't have wanted to have dealt with the issues. He would have wanted to avoid those. He wouldn't have wanted to meet you halfway. He probably gaslit you on a lot of things. Probably made you feel that you weren't worthy. You can't be dealing with all of that and then also trying to deal with your shadow at the same time. So that's why you are separated. And I think that you just look around at yourself now and you're like, wow, like I cannot believe that I've achieved all that I've achieved. I'm getting that real feeling that, that you're the divine empress now. You've stepped into your power, which is, it's lovely. It's a lot of self-esteem. You've actually found yourself for the first time, is what I'm hearing. All right, well, that's really beautiful energy that I'm getting. So let's get your masculine's energy. Let's see what's going on. So I'm just going to, I feel like I just need to ring that out and just really tap into your masculine. So this is you up here. Just let's get your masculine energy as well. So it's going to tap into the masculine. What's going on with this masculine at the moment? Being told not to look at these cards just yet. Don't look at these cards is what I'm getting. You might have just seen those pop up, but I'm being told not to look at those cards. I need to just get the energy for him. Gosh, I've already got one just jumping out at me. All right, I should actually probably take that one. All right. So we've already got the love affair card there. Gosh, they're being really particular. All right, I'm going to split the deck again. Let's just see what we're dealing with. So what have we got going on with the masculine at the moment? So we've got Netflix and chill. We've also got this love affair. As I said, we'll come back to that one. That was really, actually, I feel like we need to talk about this all together. What's going on? So we've got Netflix and chill. And then, in fact, I might even just take these. I feel like I need to take these. Cute. Netflix and chill. So we'll come back. Take another one. All right. So this is what's going on with your masculine at the moment. What you need to know. So what is going on with him? So I think there's got a lot going on there. Immediately, so we had love affair that came out. So this is secrecy, third party hookup. I think this is how he probably made you feel in the connection is what I'm feeling. So I think there was a lot of secrecy when you guys were together, that that you felt that he kept a lot of things from you, which, like I said, this is old energy that we're dealing with here. So I don't know if you still, it's been some time since you guys have been together, so I don't think that you actually know for certain, but this is for now. But certainly this is how he made you feel. So he made you feel like you were part of a third party. You may even know this for certain. I think this probably then led to a lot of the fighting as well. It's around, it's around, these third parties. If this was this might not have been a romantic relationship, or for some of you, it quite possibly was a romantic relationship. They did put you into a third party, but this could also be other karmic relationships as well that he had going on in his life. So once again, this is back to his healing journey. So the universe will put a lot of karmic relationships across his path to push him into his healing phase. Right, so the love affair, karmic relationships. So that could be people that he works with as well. It could be family relationships. So, there could have been issues. I'm getting like a real sense, like around maybe, a third party, like a mother figure. I'm getting that as well. There could have been issues there. There could also have been father issues as well. It could be, issues with work. He could have maybe put work first before anybody else. He could have been quite coming back to that self-absorbed card that we first pulled. So maybe, he was quite self-absorbed. Maybe he's very, focused on work as well when we're talking about third parties. Business associates, just a lot of karmic, influences, within your life. So really a lot of distractions that were going on there, which kind of then brings us to this card as well. So when you guys were together, there were a lot of distractions. So he was, there was a lot of temptation. Here we go. So he was always busy, kept you waiting, really made you feel, like you were a third party, like, that there were a lot of other priorities, around you and around him, which I think brought a lot of pain to you. I don't think that you ever felt like a priority in this relationship or in this connection. I get the feeling it might not have been, a relationship as such. This might have been a little bit more of a short-lived romance. We've got like the Netflix and chill here. So I think this might have been maybe more of a situationship as opposed to a relationship. I think you probably wanted more. I just don't know if he had the capacity to offer that to you at that time. And even if he did, he would not have been in a place that would have been able to give you what you needed anyway. So he had his own healing journey to go on. So I think that, that there was secrecy. You did feel that he held, a lot of things in the dark from you, and this is his energy too. So I think that he knows that there were things kept from you here. And then we've got, hook up, that he really kept you on the bench almost. I know that's probably sounds, a little bit, I don't mean to be hurtful when I say that, but I think that is, that's the energy that surrounded this connection, which, led to the conflict. I think a lot of this led to conflict. I'm also really getting a family influence as well. I think there was a significant family influence for some of you as well, when it comes to that third party, and you just not feeling like a priority. We've also got, broke, fired, unemployed, living behind their means. I'm getting a couple of things for this. Either your masculine is going through a lot of, issues right now when it comes to, employment, when it comes to his pinnacle path. I also think that this was an issue when you guys were together, when you were actually connected. I have this sense that you were paying for a lot of things, which, probably made both of you feel not really great about the connection, I have to be honest. So I think that he feels that when you guys were together that he was broke. Probably not the best manager of money as well, is what I'm getting. Once again, leading to that conflict between the two of you. As I don't think that he felt in his divine masculine energy when that was going on. And as you didn't either. I think that you maybe felt like you had to be taking on that masculine energy when you were together. So I don't think either of you felt great about that. The other thing I'm also getting is he could be going through some real issues. So you might have intuition about this, or you might know this for sure, but he could actually be going through quite a lot of money issues at the moment. So he could be going through a tower moment, trying to heal out those karmic issues, issues that he does have with money. I'm also getting that as well. So he might actually have just lost a job, or he, there's quite a lot of debt. I'm also seeing, a dollar signs, like a real debt feeling. So he might also be in a lot of debt as well, which is, also not going to be leading to the most positive energy between the two of you. Like I said, though, this is old energy. I don't know if you may do. I think for some of you, you might actually know this for certain, that you might have heard down the grapevine that, that he's lost his job, or that he's got issues around money. I certainly hope that he hasn't reached out to you asking for money. I've also just had that thought come to my mind, so I'll say it. I certainly hope that he hasn't asked you for money as well, which, would, if that is the case, or if you think that he may reach out, through others to you asking for money, then I think you really need to question whether that's something that's honoring you and honoring, your healing journey. I think maybe in the past that wouldn't have worried you. I think maybe because I think you're probably a very giving person, maybe that would not have worried you in the past. But I think now that you are stepping into your divine Empress glow, I don't think that is something that you value in a relationship anymore, is being that constant giver. Which leads to that, out of balance push-pull card that we also had previously as well. So Netflix and chill. So we have spoken about that. And then, there's a lot of distractions. So I think there were a lot of distractions around him, at the time that you were together. And I think that there are still a lot of distractions going on around him as well. Gosh, I hope that card, I hope I don't get in trouble for that card, to be honest. Should be okay. So just a lot of third-party situations going on around him at the moment, a lot of karmic situations. There's just a lot of, just real karmic energy going on around him. All right, what I wanted to do, I was going to get your connecting energy. Actually, I still might do that. I do want to just tap in before I get the connecting energy. I just want to tap in a little bit more to this divine masculine. I want to see what's actually going on around in his world. I feel like you probably want to hear that too, and then I will get the connecting energy. So which deck will I get? I just want to tap into this masculine a little bit more. Just want to see what's happening here. All right, we've already got cards that are falling out. So what's happening with this masculine? Just going to give these a, so I'm sort of struggling here. Maybe your masculine's really struggling as well. Oh, gosh, it's a little bit tricky. All right, just want to, because I want to keep these cards up. I just want to just to tap into that masculine energy. I'm messing it all up. Maybe that's what your masculine feels like, that he's messing it all up. There's a lot of messiness going on in his life. I'm getting a feeling. I'm just going to get a couple more. Just tap into that divine masculine. What's happening? One more card, please. One more card, thank you. All right, I'll try and do this without messing everything up. Try and organize these. Oh gosh, sorry guys. Try and organize these. All right. I've got those, and let's see what's happening here. All right, so I think we had back here. So we've got, so the Phoenix is the first card that we've got here, which means he's going through, as we were picking up, he's going through a real Phoenix stage at the moment. So he's going through a real healing energy. He is, yeah, as I said, there's a lot of tower moments going on. There's a lot of karmic situations. I'm really getting the feeling that he has, with the whole job around his pinnacle path, I think he's going through issues there. I also think that there's family issues as well that's going on, but he is trying to Phoenix out of it. He's trying to heal out his shadows at the moment. That's really the Phoenix energy. Really going through a lot of transformation, growth, a real rebirth energy is the Phoenix. So he's currently Phoenixing, which is confirming what we were talking about. I'm just going to put that there. These other ones here, I think this one came out as well. First, so we've got receiving what you need, progress, arriving, moving on, closure issues. So I think we're just confirming everything that we were saying. So he's trying to move on to calmer waters. I'm getting the real Six of Swords energy with this here. So the boat, so in the boat, trying to move from, really rough seas into something new. He's also on his own healing journey. I'm getting also the feeling of legal matters. I feel like he's got legal matters. I just heard that, so I'm going to say it. I feel like he's got legal matters around him, not only with his pinnacle path, but issues with his pinnacle path as an employment, but I also am just getting legal matters as well. I think, what else have we got? So we've got separation. Well, that's with you guys. So he is missing you. He's thinking about you. He is yearning, and which is to be expected, because if he's going through some real tower moments, he'll be going through a lot of introspection as well. And he will be reminiscing about you. Why do I get this feeling? He's got photos probably saved of you that I think he's looking through. I think that you might have had a couple of cheeky videos of you. I'm just seeing that, of someone just sitting there scrolling through their phone is what I'm thinking. Real Six of Cups energy, so real reminiscing is what I'm getting there. So yeah, like I said, I'm just getting it real, like legal matters, problems with employment. That's really what I'm getting. And like I said, you may know this. Someone might have told you this already, that this is what's going through his life. And like I said, until he surrenders and starts to really step onto that healing journey, his team, the universe, will keep putting these karmic situations in his life until he surrenders to the journey. So what have we got? So we've got healing heart and we've got date. So this is once again what we were talking about. So he is trying to heal the heart. I think that this separation from you, while there was a lot of conflict, I think this caused a lot of pain in him. I think that there was actually a lot of hurt caused. Whether you know it or not, I think there was a lot of hurt caused here between the two of you. So this is, what he's trying to heal out. It also says freedom from toxic relationships. So once again, those karmics, this person might have also had issues with addictions as well. So this is also the addiction card. Oh, why am I getting like a rehab feeling as well? For some of you, we might have, I don't know why that just came to my mind, but it just did. So he might have had like real substance issues, problems. I don't know why that came to my mind, but it did. So I'll separate. So I could actually resonate with a couple of you as just around addictions. There could have been also a lot of addictions when he was in a relationship with you as well. But once again, he is trying to find healthier ways to deal with it. I would say too, if there have been legal issues or addiction issues or potentially rehab, then they're also going to be blockers for coming through to you, yeah? And also why you will be being protected at this time, because you as the divine feminine, that's nothing that you need to be dealing with. You don't need to be dealing with that while he's going through that journey. That is something that he needs to deal with in separation from you. So you will be, right, this card in separation, and so you will be being protected from that. Your team will be making sure that's not, affecting you. Which I know I know separation is painful, but the alternative would be far worse for you. So that is why you're being protected at the moment. And then we've got date night as well. So we've got meeting someone new, dating, get back out there, plan or set a date. I think this is with you. I think that he is really considering about coming through to you, which is, if he's doing a lot of reminiscing, and if he's, if he's going through the tower moments, trying to, heal out karmic situations, then it's sort of natural that he's going to be, thinking about coming through to you, setting a date. So he might actually come soon. I'm getting the feeling that I'm not sure if a decision's been made yet, but I certainly think that he's thinking about it. He does want to come through to you, which he may do. I'm getting the sense that for some of you, he may actually come through quite soon. If he does come through, then I would just say to you to remember, and once again, I'm just here for advice, but I would just say to you to take things slow, because there's a lot going on in his world. There's really a lot, and you don't want to be falling back into those same cycles again if he does reach out. If he does reach out, I would say you need to be really careful and honor yourself and all of the healing and then the journey that you've been on. I think you really, really need to keep that in mind if he does reach out. But there is a lot of messiness going on in this masculine's life at the moment. All right, so I'm just going to ring that out. Because what I want to do now is I want to get the connecting energy between the two of you. I want to see how, so we've got your energy, we've got his energy. We've got a lot on his energy. We're sort of just, taking a peek at what's going on over there in his world at the moment. And I just want to get to see what your team wants you to know. So what is your beautiful angels? What's your angel team saying? So I'm just going to get this deck here. Get them all. Bear with me here. Just getting this deck for you. So this is it's actually a beautiful deck that I got a couple of days ago. So this is I just love it. So this is the it's a twin flame lovers deck. Oh, it's a bit of a naughty photo, but it's just gorgeous. So let's just, I just love the artwork of this one. So let's see what your beautiful angel team wants you to know. Oh, already. Let's get a couple more. Oh, gosh, they are falling out at me. All right, what does your angel team need you to know? Funny, I actually had 4 in my mind and 5 actually. 5, okay. Well, it might be 4, but it's 5. All right. So let's just look at these. I'm really pushing these all over the place, so I have a feeling, like I said, it's really messy, right? I think I'm just getting this real messiness from your masculine. It's just a real messy time in his life right now. I would say you guys are very, very divinely, you know, the telepathic connection between the two of you is also really strong. You are probably feeling, I've just got this sense has come through that you're probably really feeling this masculine at the moment as well. You're probably really seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities at the moment around you. If he's going through such a tough time at the moment, then you guys will be, you'll be feeling that. I just had that message come through. So I would just say, just send your masculine, you know, support, love, you know, as he goes through this really tricky time. Also, I know I keep saying he or she. I don't mean to offend anyone, please. This is not a gendered reading. I would just, you know, it doesn't matter which meat vessel you're in. Like I said, it could be the masculine or the feminine, you know, that you're in or that your person's in. And when I say he or she, it's just referring to masculine or feminine. It's definitely not a gendered reading. All right, so let's get these. So this is through from your spirit team. All right, so we've got embrace. Embrace each other. When you embrace, okay, so sorry, let me start that again. I'm also tongue-tied. So embrace, through each other you find the missing pieces. So I think this was kind of what I was just referring to. You know, this is what your team thinks about the connection between the two of you. And you know, through this connection you have, you know, found those missing pieces of yourself. I think also too that when you were together, and even still now in separation, you feel like this person is your missing piece, is, you know, that missing piece to your puzzle is what I'm getting. You also might like puzzles. For some reason that just came to my mind. You might really like puzzles, but when you found this person, it was like, oh wow, you know, like this was this missing piece of your soul that you found. You probably even said that to each other when you were in when you weren't in separation, when you were actually together in this 3D. You guys are always connected, so you know, it's just you're not in the physical realm, in the 3D. But when you guys were connected physically, then you were probably saying things along the lines of that you found your person. Just to tie you to this reading as well, you were probably saying, you know, I can't believe that I found you. You know, we were supposed to meet. We were supposed to be together. So, just a confirmation. But through that as well, it's also to confirm that, you know, that this is a divine pairing between the two of you. And while, you know, in separation, then you've also so while you were together, you've felt like you found those missing pieces, but then in separation, you also have, through all of this amazing healing work that you've done. So as you continue to heal out your shadow, the both of you, then you will find those missing pieces to yourself. You know, you will be able to complete that puzzle as you go along in the journey. And you will also understand then that you are the only one ultimately that can fill yourself, that can fill your cups, as you are the only one. You're the only one that can actually complete you, that somebody else can't complete you, which is also another lesson that this journey instills on you. And I think that's where you're at the moment. So yes, that's a really beautiful card. really. So embrace. And then transformation is the next one. So your relationship with one another is about to deepen. Love conquers and transforms all things. Both of you are going through an incredible transformation at the moment. Like I said, I think that you are a little bit further along on this journey than what your masculine is. You know, straight away, you know, with that long veil on, started to analyze yourself and started to look inward, whereas this masculine has been avoiding for some time. So I think you are on this journey, you know, you're further along in the journey than what he is. However, he's also going through transformation as well. And both of you have brought that about with one another. This transformation in the two of you could not have happened if you didn't meet one another, which is the beautiful thing about when you meet your twin flame. And then it just says here, love conquers and transforms all things. Which is true. I would say self-love conquers and transforms all things, but definitely within your connection as well. It's also saying here that your relationship with one another is about to deepen, which also speaks to what I was picking up before. Is he may be about to reach out to you. I don't want to, you know, say anything, anything to, to create, any sort of delusion at all, but, for want of a better word. But he may be about to reach out. What he's going through, the transformation in his life, might actually be enough to really push him into finally reaching out. Like I said, I think there is quite some distance. You guys are definitely in separation. I think it's been like this for quite some time, but he could actually be about to reach out to you. All right, I just might need to cover this card a little bit here, but you can see that there. And it just says, honor the place with one another where you are one eternal soul. There you'll find true bliss. This is very, very typical of a divine connection. That twin flame connection is that you really are. When I was talking about puzzle pieces before, your bodies also fit together, like puzzle pieces. And I think that for you and for your masculine, this was a union, a connection like neither of you have felt before, which is what happens with your twin flame. It really is a connection that, like no other, like there really isn't. And I think there's just that both of you would reminisce about each other in this regard frequently. In fact, when it comes to this, it's probably not far from either of your minds, that connection that you had, which, it's all part of it. Yeah. I might just do this the other way because I don't want to, just don't want to get in trouble here. All right, let's just pop that under there like that. Just trying to keep everything neat. Funny that separation and that union card would come under each other as well. Like I said, although you're separated, I think that both of you think about each other in that way all the time. And then we've got power. I've just been drawn, for some reason I've just flipped over that card as well to this. So we've got the, this is all around the Kundalini, around the awakening. We've got the snake there around the two lovers. And this is a really beautiful illustration, but this is all around the Kundalini that happens, when you're both activated onto this journey. And we've got over here power. So once again, just talking about this journey that you've been on. So you instinctively know what is right for you when you have the power to say no or to walk away at any time. I don't think that when you met this person that you had a sense of this power. I think that this has come about as part of your healing journey, is the ability to put others before yourself. Other way around, is the ability to put yourself before others. I think there'd be a reason why I was saying that. Actually, I think maybe you go out, that this might still be a lesson you're still learning, is that you still have a tendency to put others before yourself. But I think you're learning to flip that now, and that you're actually very important, and that your needs have to be met. In all relationships, not just romantic relationships, but also in your day-to-day relationships as well. So I think you are stepping to your power. You're learning how to put up boundaries. You would not have been able to do that before this person, which is actually a really beautiful thing. It's a really beautiful lesson to learn, is to be able to set boundaries, to step into your power, and become that divine feminine, which is really beautiful. And then lastly, I actually love this card. So this to me is very much an angel card, with the angel wings. We've got the love hearts here. It's just, we've got the rainbows as well. So you could be seeing a lot of rainbows. You could have just seen a rainbow, a double rainbow in particular. You could have seen a rainbow. You could also, very much resonate with angel numbers. So you could be seeing a lot of angel numbers at the moment. So you could be seeing a lot of 111s, 222s. You also could be seeing a lot of repeating numbers. I'm seeing like 12, 12, 15, 15, something along those lines. I just feel like you're seeing, this is really like my signs and synchronicities card when I see this. So I think that you are seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities, which, goes back to what I was picking up on before, is that you probably are quite telepathically connected at the moment with this person. So you will be seeing, things around that are going to be reminding you of him. I just heard a motorbike go past in the distance as well. So maybe that's one of your signs, or something that you can relate to. But if we just turn this over. So the past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is now available to you. Follow it with faith. So so this is really just speaking to that healing journey. So just that old energy that we were talking about, so that real conflict energy. I think that you might have been a person who was a bit, conflictive, for want of a better word, if that's a word. If I just made up a word, I'm not sure. But I think that there, just around you, I think there was a lot of conflict around you. When you met this person, I think you're probably quite a reactive person, as we've said. And so this is something you've been healing out. And I think you're stepping into a lot of, into real new energy, new world energy. That karmic cycle is really starting to turn in your favor, that karmic wheel. I do think there are a lot of new possibilities. So while your poor old masculine over on the other side of the fence is really going through it at the moment, I think that you are actually going through some really positive changes. I think to the opposite of your masculine, I think that maybe you do have new job opportunities come through. Why do I feel like you might be an entrepreneur? So you might have new business opportunity that's just presented itself to you as well. But I think there's just a lot of real positivity around you, and and your team's just saying, just embrace it, go with it, which is really beautiful. I think that's really lovely, and your angels are really guiding you and protecting you at the moment with this, which is really beautiful. Oh, all right. So what I might do then is, those are just that's really beautiful, is I might then just get some messages just straight through from your masculine. Let's just see what he has to say. Well, those cards literally just came out. The pile actually just fell over. I don't know if you just heard that. So confirming, we've got tower moments. Your masculine's really going through it over on that side. He really is. So let's just see here. Let's just see what's going on. What does this masculine want to say? Well, I'm just going to keep shuffling until I feel like I don't need to. Okay, I think that's enough. So it's actually quite a bit. I feel like your masculine has a bit that he wants to tell you, to be fair. And I hope that this doesn't all... There's quite a few here. So grab a drink, grab a snack. We might be here for a little while. He's got quite a lot to say. Maybe he was a person that's always had a lot to say in your relationship as well. I didn't get the tarot here, which is unusual. So I don't get the feeling I need to get the tarot today. Maybe tarot was something that really resonates with you. Maybe that just came to my mind. Maybe you're a reader yourself, which, maybe that's part of your mission work. Maybe you have actually stepped into your mission work as well. Maybe not just a tarot reader. Maybe you're maybe you're a scryer. Maybe you do candle work as well. I'm getting. Maybe you also do Reiki. I'm just getting that maybe you're a person who does Reiki, or you're thinking about these things at least when it comes to your mission work, which once again is part of the divine journey. Part of the twin flame connection is to actually step into your mission work. So let's see. So what's the first one we've got here? So gossip only hurts more. I would say that he has... Why do I get the feeling he's been asking people about you? I think he's been asking people about you. I think that he might even think that you've moved on, that you found somebody else. And maybe you have. Maybe you do have someone around you. It might have actually gotten back to you that he's been asking about you. Or you've seen something on social media about you. He may also be stalking on social media. I think that he has found something out about you that he's not... that he's not really happy with. This poor old masculine. I'm getting this real... I know that you guys have had a lot of problems, but I'm really feeling for this masculine. I think that he's going through a lot in his world. Not that I'm saying that you should be reaching out or that you need to feel sorry for him at all. I understand, you've been through a lot with this person, but I do feel that he's really going through it. Number 4, if I asked you to stay, would you leave? I bet he's asking that. Like I said, you've been through a lot with this person, and I think that this is something that he does reminisce on. I think that he does think about this as if he does reach out to you. Are you going to reject him? Are you going to Queen of Swords him? Like, will you be, a little bit cutthroat with him? I think is definitely something that goes over in his mind, and is probably when he's thinking about reaching out to you, this will be a blocker. Is that, will you end up rejecting him? And quite possibly you might be, if he's not able to, and if he's not in a situation that he can honor you and your divine feminine, then you may end up rejecting him. You matter. Yes. I think that even though when you were together in the connection, he probably made you think that you didn't matter, that he was putting you in this third party. So this is confirming again, which is little magic, to be honest, but just coming back to to that card around making you feel like you were a third party, like you weren't a priority. He's actually saying, on reflection, you really did. You do matter. They are waiting for you. So he's waiting for you. He is reminiscing. Also, if you can hear my dog, that's her snoring in the background, by the way. My gorgeous little dog. So you might be able to, the microphone might be able to pick that up. So if that's what you can hear, that's what it is. It's just her snoring in the background. You might also have a dog. Maybe dogs would tie you to this reading as well. Dogs could actually be, an important part between the two of you. I think I think we should see other people. So this is probably something. Why do I think that this is what he said to you? I think that when he made you feel like a third party, I think that he might have even said this to you. I think we should see other people. which would have been incredibly hurtful for you. I know that you really, which once again is saying, look, I think you've really been through a lot with this person. Talking about, that third party. It's also in the number 3. So, third party. Oh, and look at that, just as we were saying it. So we've got gossip only hurts, and then straight under that card, we've got you have so many choices and options. Yeah, I think this person's heard something about you. I think that he thinks that either you're moving on, that you found somebody else, or he's heard this down the grapevine that you might have met someone else, and quite possibly you have. I don't think so. I don't feel like you've got a lot of energy. He might think that you've got, your masculine thinks that you've got a lot, but I don't necessarily think that. I mean, you probably would do if you were putting yourself out there, but I don't get the feeling that you're putting yourself out there. I think you've got a lot of too much else, other positiveness going on around you. And look at that. So if I asked, would you stay? It's come up as I am terrified. So this is what he talks about. This is, well, maybe he does talk about it. Maybe he does talk about this with friends. But this is, confirming that, if I ask you to stay, would you leave? I'm terrified. He's terrified that you're going to reject him if he does reach out to you. Terrified of rejection, which, really leads to wounded masculine energy. If he was in his divine masculine energy, then he wouldn't be terrified. Once he's got his eyes locked on a goal, he'll be heading towards you. Real chariot energy. Nothing's going to be able to hold him back if he is in his divine masculine. So that's just something that you need to think about. And then you matter, and then time to ground yourself. So, really talking about grounding, taking time out for yourself, which, I immediately just came back to that spotlight card again, so you're doing a lot of introspection at the moment, working on yourself, grounding yourself. Talking about ground as well, it could be an earth sign. I think I might have even said that before, but it could be an earth sign. Why did Virgo immediately jump out at me? Immediately just came to my mind. Virgo, Taurus as well. The other earth sign is also Capricorn, of course, but I was just getting Virgo and Taurus straight away. Could be a Capricorn. When talking about grounding yourself, they are waiting for you. You are right. I bet that's probably something that you want to hear. Not necessarily just in a reading, but you actually want to hear that in real life as well. You are right. I think they know. So whatever that fighting was, whatever he was gaslighting you about, it's confirming. He knows you were right. Or your masculine knows that you were right. Despite all of that fighting that happened. Oh, wow. And it says, I think we should see other people. Like I said, I think that was something that he said to you, which ultimately led to your separation. But words do hurt. He knows how much that hurt you. Oh, I'm actually getting a stinking feeling on my stomach just even seeing that. That's like actually even making me want to cry, to be honest. I can just feel that pain that caused you, and he knows that. He knows the pain that caused. Oh, straight away, I'm sorry. Oh, that's really magic. Look at that. I'm sorry. I'm actually going to place that here because that's what we're talking about. I mean, he knows he's done the wrong thing. He really does. I think he's in deep regret at the moment. Deep regret over what he said to you and the ending that you guys had. Deep regret. All right, we've got a couple more here. So here we are. So I'm afraid to talk. So once again, this has all come out. It's all confirming each other. If I ask you to stay, would you leave? I'm terrified. I'm too afraid to talk. So we are dealing, like I said, he is in a wounded masculine energy at the moment. And I do really feel for this masculine. And yeah, he wouldn't be feeling this if he was in his divine masculine energy. But if he does have issues, around addictions, potentially, like I said, let's pick up on rehab. If he's got, if he's out of work, like he's not going to be feeling like he's in his divine masculine energy anyway. Especially if he's reached out to you for money. Like I said, certainly hope he hasn't reached out for you for money, but you might be expecting him to reach out. And then lastly, we've got love me. I believe this. He definitely wants you to love him for sure. And I know that you do. It's just whether this is the right time for reunion or not is a very different question. This is also coming up under grounding yourself. So grounding yourself, you matter, love me, all around self-love as well. Putting the spotlight on yourself, loving yourself. And then we've got strength, ego. I believe that too. I think he's very much in his ego at the moment, which comes down again to that card around spotlight, around someone who you thought was quite, when you were in connection with him, that he was quite self-absorbed, quite arrogant too. I'm hearing as well. So yeah. Numbers that you could be seeing, just a reminder, I've just been reminded, is the number 8. So you could be seeing a lot of numbers, a lot of 8s as well. 43 could be a number, 34, 43, third of the fourth of the third. I'm just going to move this here. So I'm afraid to talk. Got number 7, so 74. Maybe born in the year of 74. And this is quite magic. We've actually got the number 69, if you can see that there. So 69 is very much a twin flame number. It's also about yin and yang. It's a balance between, the two energies. So that's a really beautiful card. It's also a card about healing. So I definitely get the feeling that you are bringing your internal yin and yang into balance as well. Beautiful. So I think that you've got this, my beautiful collective. I think that if this person does reach out, you really need to be asking yourself if, given all the messiness that's going on in his life, is this really a time to be, to have a reunion with this person, or do we just need to take things slowly, just sit back and just allow this masculine to heal and to actually step into his divine masculine energy? Beautiful. Well, look, that was a really beautiful reading. Thank you for letting me read your energy. I hope that you got some guidance out of that and some confirmation, some assurance. If you have made it all the way this far, then I certainly hope that this has provided you with that, with something of value. And so I would just ask that you do either like or subscribe to this channel. I am a brand new channel here on YouTube, and so all of the support helps. It also helps to get these messages out to others in our community who actually need to hear these messages as well. So with your support, that will actually help these messages to get out as well. So I thank you. All right, so I'll leave that for today, and I look forward to seeing you soon.